Hey guys, what's going on? Robloxian Star here, back for another video. Today we are going to be reviewing Zane's Battlesuit Mech from the new Ninjago wave in January. It was a good set, however it had a few problems. Starting off, I like how it was very articulated. There were 2 joints for each limb. The body can spin, and I'm not a big fan of them using the same design as the mechs for Marvel. I wasn't a fan of those sets. I only really got 2 for the minifigures and then the Infinity Gauntlet. But yeah, so wasn't a big fan of those. However, this one turned out pretty nice. I feel like compared to some other sets, such as Jay's Battle Mech, it wasn't as good, just having 2 plain arms with, well, they had this cool new piece, but the hands were kind of not really covered like Jay's were. But otherwise, it's a pretty good set. I don't like how they built this piece. I feel like the one from the mechs were fine. That was actually one of the parts that I did like about them. However, I do think it's cool that he has like shuriken holders. I think that's a pretty cool design. And yeah, I would say the build, it's pretty nice still. Like 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. But what we really need to talk about is the minifigures, because they are pretty good. So starting off, we have a non-exclusive one. There are 3 minifigures, by the way, and only one of them isn't exclusive. And that's Wildfire and, you know, just the regular Tournament of Sources design. But she does not have her shoulder armor, the same ones they used for Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. She does not have them like she had in the last wave. I actually have her minifigure over here. See, in the old one, she did have it. However, now she doesn't. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. It wasn't super necessary to begin with, but I feel like it looks a bit bland without it, but still a cool minifigure. She has a crystal katana, which I did not expect to be as important as they were in the show, but they were pretty important. Not going to spoil it, though, for those who have not seen it. Next up for minifigures, we have this exclusive Zane minifigure that's shirtless. And this was a pretty cool design. We haven't seen what like his power source looks like since, I believe it was season 3. However, I think we got a minifigure during Skybound in a battle pack. But I think in the show it was season 3. But yeah, it's a pretty cool design. I really like how they did the back. I think that looks really nice. I don't know if you can see it. I don't have a great camera. But I think this minifigure is pretty cool. But there's not a lot to say about it. However, there is one last minifigure that's definitely the best out of them. That is Drix of the Forbidden 5. Drix is definitely one of the cooler members of the Forbidden 5. The head, this is what it looks like without the hat, since the hat was kind of obscuring it. But it looks pretty cool. It's not double-sided, like not double-sided faces, but it does have a design on the back. And then finally, on the back of the minifigure has the Forbidden 5 logo. You'll notice that's on all the Forbidden 5 members, I believe. I know it's on Noct as well. I'm not sure about the Summer Wave, and I'm pretty sure it's on Zarked. Now, they aren't on his display the way my stand works, but he did come with 2 pretty cool weapons. I'll get those out. They were these. I do really like these. I feel like they looked like stingers, and since he's kind of like a bug guy, it was really fitting. And I definitely think that these were fitting weapons. I was worried they might just give the Forbidden 5 swords when they released them, but I'm glad that they had exclusive weapons. Well, most of them did. And yeah, there's not a lot to say about it, but for the minifigures, definitely for the price, 10 out of 10. I would not have expected 3 good minifigures and 2 exclusives for a $14 set. And if you're wondering why I said 14 and not 10, that's because I actually live in Canada and it's 14 Canadian, which does equal to about $10 American. But yeah, that's about all I have to say. Definitely a decent set. I highly recommend picking it up if you haven't already. Definitely a good set. And yeah, that's all. I'll see you in the next video.